Earlier this week, I was talking to a friend on the bus, and we ended up talking about some words, one of them being asexuality. And so my friend was like, "Oh, I know what that means. That's when someone's both a man and a woman, right?" This is not, in fact, the case. I'm also not talking about the biology term in which an organism is able to split into two. If not, I would do that right now. The asexuality that I am talking about is when a person has no sexual attraction to people. And it's a thing that some people actually have. I myself am asexual. And this can cause confusion for some people. How many asexuals in the world is uncertain, though there's an estimated 1% of the world population of people in the world who are asexual. So we're roughly about as common as gingers. Now, asexuality, like any sexual orientation, is defined by one's ultimate feelings, not their complete actions. So, say, an asexual can still have sex, and they can still derive physical pleasure from sex, but emotionally it would be around the same as washing dishes. So how do I know? I learned the word roughly 3 years ago at the ripe age of 13. At the time, I was dealing with many problems of a 13-year-old, as well as this inner demon situation of something being wrong with me. At the time, I already knew that asexuality was a part of who I am, defined myself. When I was younger, I would be asked the question, "Who was your last crush?" This was not a simple answer for me, because I would say elementary school, because it was true. And those crushes were as small and insignificant as all elementary crushes are. Now, what I learned as I got older was that this wasn't supposed to be the case, that this was strange, that this was not common. And so I became worried that I had done some action or inaction that had caused me to be this difference. And so I became distressed in life. I also noticed a trend in media that when someone was in a relationship with another, there were certain steps that had to be taken. One of those steps was sex, and that if you didn't have sex, you weren't fulfilling what was supposedly a necessary step of this relationship. And that distressed me a lot. So as I got even older, I learned another thing that was really, really dumb, was that teenagers have this inner circle concept of losing your virginity as quickly as possible once you're 16 or up, which is dumb. And those who didn't lose their virginity were considered losers or weren't able to fulfill certain social ideals. And that made me even more distressed. So learning this word really helped ground me in that, one, I had a community. There were other people like me, and they understood my experiences and feelings, and even some of the challenges that I've come to face. There are a lot of things that were changing in my life at the time. So having something like that helped ground me and let me focus on something and study and analyze, just to know. I learned that there are also different ways that people react to this in their own ways. I could sort these people into roughly 3 categories. One would be my mother, who, when I told her, she looked up and she was like, "Okay, if you want to talk about it more, we'll talk about it more." And then she went on to work on her Sudoku. The second would be my friends, who were driven by a sense of curiosity and were very happy that I had come out to them about this. "Yes, tell me more, explain to me, I want to understand." And that was great. The third has been something I've been coming upon more often in life, and also more recently, is the pity group. The group that goes, oh, are you sure? You should, at least try it. So, how do you not know? How do you not know if you haven't tried it? I'm pretty sure I would know. The point is, I know myself. I understand myself better than anyone else does. I understand my attraction. Yeah, I still don't get some things, and I'm still working things out. I'm 16. I'm working through what's good music. What does that mean about me? Whether or not I should stick with Apple, go with Android, which has better coverage. I think everyone knows which has better coverage. I won't say. But I do know my attraction, which I mean lack of attraction. So go and learn about these things. Study these weird words. Why is something to describe asexuality in biology class? Know these words, because if it's not for you, then it's for someone else. It's for a 13-year-old kid trying to figure out the world, not really knowing stuff, and is just confused about why they're different. So learn it. And I will congratulate you on learning these things, not from me, but from others. So go and talk about things, and go and learn about these things. As I stand here, entering you into this strange world of people not having sex on this red dot in this black box.